everyone. Welcome to Next Telly. Wow, the book I want to discuss today is so exciting. How do you like my set? My new set. Okay, so this book is called The SCREWTAPE Letters by C.S. Lewis. This book is okay. So for those of us who don't know, I feel like all of us should know, because I assume everybody on this channel is someone that at least you appreciate and read a book once or twice. C.S. Lewis is not a new name. Do you understand? This man died in 1963 or something. He died since. It's not today. Do you understand? And he's very popular for a lot of great Christian books. He's a very Christian writer. Do you understand? Who lived from the 1800s to 1963. And his most popular work, I think a lot of us would know, that would be Lion, Witch, Wardrobe, The Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, so at least a lot of us knew when Chronicles of Narnia was big, and all that. That's another book I also bought recently. I haven't even started reading it. I'm going to read it, And it's not like I'm on the C.S. Lewis thing where I feel like reading all his books, but no. The thing with this book is that somebody had talked about just a small portion of this book on TikTok one time, and I went straight to Everand and I found the audio. But I had been looking for a physical copy. I'm talking of since October 2025. This is March 2026. I've been looking for it, so does anybody have SCREWTAPE letters? I don't know why it's not as popular, but I then happened to go to my friend's house and I saw this in her bookshelf, and I did the unthinkable. I collected it from her bookshelf without even telling her, but she knows now. I did, but normally it's a no, don't take people. But I just thought, this book, I've been looking for it, so I have to return it to her once I'm done with this. Now, so I'm done with this video now. She's gonna take it back, and wow. Okay, let me get into the book. SCREWTAPE is a demon. That's the only way to explain him, right? It exists in the realm of the spirits. Do you understand? That's what demons are. Demons are not physical. Do you understand? We can't touch, feel, So it's an evil spirit that exists in the realm of the spirits. Oh, a question I should ask myself. I remember in the beginning he talked about how he was able to get these letters. Anyway, so it's a list of 31 letters written by SCREWTAPE to his dear Wormwood. Okay, another spirit. And this letter starts from the day when Wormwood is assigned to a man who has just given his life to Christ, that has decided to take Christianity very seriously. Do you understand? So the way it is like, okay, so now you give your life to Christ, a demon is assigned to you. And SCREWTAPE is like Baba, he's like a mentor in the world of the tempters. That's another what they call themselves, the people that tempt people into falling into sin. Yes, and so in the world of the tempters, he's like a Baba. So he has a mentee, Wormwood, that will write him letters, but we don't see Wormwood's letters. We see only SCREWTAPE's letters. And I say there are 31. So from the day they come to church, Wormwood writes a letter to SCREWTAPE talking about this person, blah, blah, blah. And then SCREWTAPE returns back and is giving him advice on ways and places you can get him to fall into temptation and stay there. And first of all, I think that there are some things I already knew. Work out your righteousness with fear and trembling. You're paying attention to, there's some things that you just knew that can be problematic. But I was surprised by some of the things that were said here. Do you understand? And that is where my book comes in. Sure, today, the amount of things I came with, because I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to come here and blabber for you people, because this book is so good. So in case you know where I can get this book, let me know, because I want to get it, I want to have it, I want to give it to I want my daughter to read it, I want my husband to read it, I want it to be, So the idea actually is like, what they care about is the spiritual state of man, because it's the spiritual that influences the physical. So the more they can stay in your mind, the more they can make your spirits do some certain things, or even if you can ignore the spirit, it's even better. Because in ignoring the spirits, you can do anything you want, you don't care. You get, but the physical could still play as righteous, as Christian. Do you understand? Because in the talking, SCREWTAPE was talking about even this preacher self. This is the kind of person he is. This is the kind of thing that he does. That don't worry, we have this person taking care of him already. That's another, they'll call another demon's name. He's taking care of this preacher already. So if this boy continues going to this church, as time goes by, we know that this will happen. So it's like the SCREWTAPE acts like he knows a lot, but he doesn't. Do you understand? Because there's a lot of, okay, try and do this so this will happen. Try and do this so this will happen. But the thing is that ultimately, which I think gave me so much hope, ultimately, we get to understand that it is us, because if we are that man, do you understand? It is us that have the choice. So it's like a lot of times, sometimes Screwtape will write a letter yelling at Wormwood, telling Wormwood that, see how you've lost this thing now. That, she, I told you to do this. I told you to do this. I told you to do this, and you did not do it, or you did not do it well. And the thing is that even when Wormwood does what Screwtape, it feels very Nigerian parent indeed. They tell you, come on, go and stand there. You now stand there. Why are you standing there? I don't know if you understand. So that's how it starts to feel after a while later on. Anyway, so I wanted to just name some of the things that jumped out at me that was quite that grieves the spirit according to Screwtape. Jealousy. Jealousy, you say that jealousy easily, I think, well, yeah, jealousy leads to anger, can lead to hatred, can lead to war, can lead to fights. Do you understand? When you harbor jealousy, because jealousy is under the radar, it's not as out. Like when you're angry, you shout. We can see what anger looks like, even though it's not a physical thing, it's an emotion. But the emotion of jealousy, or what we call envy, it lays low. Do you understand? And it can linger for much longer, and it grieves the spirit. It makes the spirit tend more towards the dark side than to the light. Meanwhile, Screwtape called the enemy God. So a lot of times say, the enemy thinks he's this. So it's like some of the things that I found interesting was when he was trying to describe love. Do you understand? Screwtape doesn't believe that God's idea of love is possible. He believes that the enemy just thinks that he can just blah blah blah. And a lot of times, like, why does he even like these people? Why does he like these animals? He calls us human beings animals. Why do you like these animals? Why does he it's not him talking to God, though. He's explaining to Wormwood that the enemy thinks that he can just do this, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Anyway, so contentment is another one. When you're discontent with your life, a lot of times it's easier for darkness to seep into your life. The more discontent you are, the way it affects. So it's like I think this contentment part was when the character, that's the main person that Wormwood was supposed to be tempting, had made some friends that were not Christians. So they were like these friends that were, they're trying to be cool, they're trying to be, something. And in doing this, the man, let me call him, I don't know what name to call him, let me call him Mansha. Man becomes very discontent with his whole life, because this thing starts feeling very boring, very monotonous. It's like, let's work with these cool people. This is what they do. They dance, they sing, they are cool. So discontentment makes you want to go and find something that can lead you to. Okay, so that's another one. Another one, which I think I think this one is popular. Anxiety. When you're anxious about what you cannot control. So it's like he kept telling Wormwood, try to look for ways, points and look at ways, which I think I liked, because in the end, it is the devil, or it is this demon that influences you to do things. It's not like the demon makes you do it. I don't know if you understand. They have to whisper things in your ears that will make you now make decisions. So it's those decisions that they are relying on. In those decisions, you're grieving your spirit. Anxiety, when they bring to you, okay, the war is coming, because this was written. We don't know, like, there's no timeline, because we're talking of the spirit world, so we don't know how long this letter has lasted. But I know that this man gave his life to Christ, met a girl he loved, made friends. He was living with his mom. Oh, this one was a cool one. The one with his mom, I'll talk about that. Then went to war. That's the World War II. With the Germans, because he didn't write the name. Like I said, he's a spirit, so he's not on the same time whatever with us. We understand, okay, World War II from 1940 to 19. No, him is like, just the war is about to go, let him go to war. Do you understand? So anxiety, with the war coming, it makes you anxious. The more anxious you are, the more you grieve the spirit. Then love and infatuation. This one I found crazy. So like I said, it was in this one that Screwtape was explaining to Wormwood that the enemy, who is God, has created an idea of what love is. So with the more distortions that they have created, and by they I mean the world and these devils, the more the possibility people have to be filled by the concept of love. So when you talk of something like infatuation, when somebody is infatuated with someone, they feel like that person is the end all and be all. Then when something goes wrong, their life crashes. This affects the spirits. Do you understand? So he was like that, look for different ways to paint what love looks like and make him become more, he told Wormwood, make man become more obsessed or more focused on this woman that he's in love with than God. You understand? Make her to become his God, something like that, in the name of love, because of how much he loves the person. It's wild. Then another one is the performance of spiritual virtues. This one actually came earlier. I wrote it later. Came much earlier. He said, okay, that now that this guy has given his life to Christ, let him do a performative form of spirituality. So when the person is giving charity, when you do things like give charity so that people can see that you're giving charity, when you choose to be unselfish so that it's a performance, can't you see how unselfish I am? So it's like it's to the point where you need someone to acknowledge how selfless you are. Someone needs to acknowledge how charitable you are. So it's a performance, if not for anything. So it's like, oh, I told the truth. Can someone please clap for me for telling the truth? So I was kind. Someone point out how kind I am. So it's like what then happens is that you only want to do these things when you're in front of people. Is not who you are, is not inside. So the spirit is not actually pure, is not of God's, it's of the devil's. So it's like you do things where, like in Nigeria here, when you want to give money to charity, you bring videos, you bring a press crew. Do you understand? You're going to give to a poor this thing, so you go and do an entire event around it. So those things, the performance of spirituality, and it's in different the performance of spiritual virtues. So it's in small things. That one about doing video to go and give to charity is not small. Even the concept of giving charity is small. But even in your house, do you understand? If you have siblings, you have spouses, and your spouse needs to acknowledge every time you do something good for them, it's a performance. It's not truly who you are. So it's like the performance keeps your spirit satisfied, keeps your physical satisfied that you're a good person. But if you need to be constantly told that you're good every time you do something good, you're not that good. It was an interesting one. He said that much earlier. Okay, so then distraction. He talked about the importance of distraction. The more distracted we are, the more we don't pray, the more we don't pay attention to our spirits. So things like noise. He said he hated music and he hated silence. That's one mode. He said music and noise and silence is a problem. No matter what happens, make sure that there's noise. If it's not in the form of fight, it's in the form of noise outside. It's in the form of maybe someone talking all the time. Let there always be noise. The more noise there is, the more distracted this person will be in focusing on God. Okay, another one is I already wrote this. Okay, so cowardice. See, cowardice is an okay emotion to have, but when you add fear to cowardice, at this point it was when he was at war. So the thing about this war part I found very interesting was SCREWTAPE kept telling Wormwood that, brother, don't allow this person die. You have to do everything within your power to protect his physical being, because if he dies, he's going to go to heaven. We don't need him going to heaven. We want him to go to hell. So we need him to. If you don't want him to die, protect him. Do everything within your power to make him. Because now that, and he was like, the way he said it was that this I found very not disturbing. I found very interesting, because as a human being, it's hard for me to understand. He said that God creates things like war and natural disasters for us to, that once those things happen, when men are at war, they have a tendency to face God more. That I found. I was like, I don't know why I didn't believe that's true, but that's what he said. He said that that the more people are at war, they tend to believe in God more, because they want God to save them, they want to get home. So like, people are at their purest when they are in a state of distress. The possibility of people praying is higher. It happens to you, doesn't it? When something major happens to you and you just remember, hey, I have a father who will never ever fail me, and you can start talking to God. Emma Binu, God, please help me. Help me. Then you start begging God. Do you understand? So it's like you suddenly become your purest. You're so attentive to God. You're not worried about with things could go away from you. But when everything is perfect, that doesn't happen. When everything is good, when everything is just okay, everything is fine, that doesn't happen. You tend to, because everything is going well, you tend to forget. So what he said was that SCREWTAPE kept telling one mode, under no condition, if this man dies, voila, you're finished. You know what happened to you. You're finished. This man dies. Make sure with everything you do, make sure you save this man's life, so that he can come back to when things are normal, and then he can live in temptation and sin, so that we can now take him out. That way, he belongs to us. His soul belongs to us. Then when he was talking, the other part I wanted to talk about, when he was talking about anxiety, like I said, this was a bunch of 31 letters. So it's like all of these are different parts of the letters, different letters. And he talked about how someone just landed in hell some time ago and said, so I spent my whole time on earth doing nothing. So when you are crippled by these things that the demons do to you, things like anxiety, distraction, the fear, cowardice, and the places of infatuation, those things, they stop you from doing work. A lot of times the work you're doing serves God, serves the enemy. In the name of in Screwtape's words, it serves the enemy. What you want is something that will serve God, you as a person. What Screwtape wants is for you not to do anything. Live in that alternate, on that reality that is not really real, that has been sold to you. The reality, oh, this is bad, oh, this will not happen, oh, this kind of. So it's like you get crippled and you don't want to do anything. The more you don't do anything, the higher the possibility of your soul landing in hell. That's what Screwtape said. So another one is, okay, I think that's it. Fatigue. The more tired you are, the more you can lash out in anger, the more you hurt people who love you and the one you love. So as much time as one could, Screwtape said, make him tired. Look for things to exhaust him. Start fights, start this one, because what he needs one to do is to keep him tempted, tempt him and keep him in the state of that temptation. Let his spirit feel in that temptation. That was really good. And what I found very interesting was okay, like I said, this guy, it was his first work. That's Wormwood. That was his first work. That was this guy he was working with was his first word. So he called it self-conscious unselfishness. That person I was talking about, being unselfish. So it's like you're being self-conscious. So it's like you prompt yourself to do it. I don't know if you're someone that struggles with that thing. If that happens to you, where you have to school yourself every time. If you're someone that's been Christian for a very long time, and you've been Christian for like 4 years, 3 months, and you've not made it a behavior, a character of yours, where you do things just because you know it's the right to do. You have to still convince yourself, and then you want people to celebrate you for doing it. You're not exactly doing what, that's what God told us to do. That's what Paul in the Bible told us to do. He mentioned Paul in the Bible a lot of times. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it with this book. I don't think there's anything else here I want to talk about. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So yeah, that's it though. I don't know if I already said it. I'm Nez. Okay, I am Nez. Welcome to Nez Telly. This book really took me away. Like, it really, 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 really took me away. I'm going to do a little more research. Maybe I'll put that on my Instagram and talk about how he came about these letters. I know he said that how he didn't enjoy writing it, but that's how it was so easy for him to write that. Once he just started writing, as if he just felt a force that just made him start to, and he just started writing. So I'm like, what is, I don't know, I think it's I'm too 2026. Like, can I get a breakdown? How did you come up with this concept? What were you doing? What were you thinking? Like, how did this happen? But this book was amazing. It's like 3 hours on Everand. So if you have Everand, just you go there and look for it. The Screwtape Letters. Okay, so but what this book teaches you is the things that you need to pay attention to. Do you understand? So that as a man, you have to pay attention to, so that your soul will remain in Christ after everything. So yeah, that's it though. Screwtape Letters. The drawing at the front, or the picture at the front, looks like those whatever's the see no evil, hear no evil. What's that? See no evil, hear no evil. What's the other one? See no evil, hear no evil. Those things are, they're supposed to be 3 of them. See no evil, hear no evil, know no evil. I think I forgot what it is. I'll let you guys know. But that's what this looks like. That's what this thing looks like. So this book was written in Washington Post. Washington is US. Is this a US person? I thought it was a British person. Jesus, my life. I need to. I will let you guys know in the I'm not in the comment section. You'll see it on. I'll write it here on this thing. But this book was written in 19. Okay, 19. It's written in 1942. Sorry, I've seen it. 1942. So this book is really nice. I enjoyed reading. I don't know who the man that read it on the audio. He sounded a bit like, he reminded me a bit of James L. Jones. James L. Jones is the guy in is the voice of Mufasa in Lion King, and then you remember, this is CNN. That's him. So yeah, that's what he reminds me of. That's what the voice reminds me of. But it's not exactly the same, but it sounds quite familiar. So that's what you need to know about this book, guys. This book, I read it in once I started it, I knew, once I read the first 2 letters, I was like, nah, I need to finish this book. So I finished it in a day. I finished it and I was mising it. So it's like, I'll read small, go do something, come back, do small, go, come back. I was in a read along and it was fun. This book is good. This book is good. This book is good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Try and get this book, and if you find where it is, please let me know. Okay, love you guys. Mwah.